Welcome back to the Detroit Tigers franchise here on MLB the Show. I am your host, longtime listener. Drop a like, subscribe, comment below. We are going out to Comerica Park for a rematch from our first episode where the Indians are going to take on the Tigers. The Indians coming into the game at 3-4. Tigers 4-2 out of the gate. Pretty good start for them, so you like what you see in the early going out of this young team. Jordan Balazovic is going to take the hill for the Tigers. In his first start, he went 5 1/3, only gave up 6 hits, but he also allowed 6 walks across that stretch, and that is just not going to get it done. If he's going to make it in the bigs, he is going to certainly have to get that command under control. He would get things started against Cesar Hernandez on an 0-2 pitch. He gets a routine grounder to third, and that's a good start for Balazovic. Next batter was Oscar Mercado, and he would hit a soft liner to second. Scope able to handle that one, and 2 away here in the first. Next batter was Lindor. He would draw a walk, so Balazovic already some struggles with the command. He would come back to get Reyes to hit a grounder to third. That would end the inning for the Indians. On the bump for Cleveland today would be Carlos Carrasco. In his first start, he picked up the win going 6 2/3, gave up 9 hits, only 1 walk, and struck out 7. First batter, Victor Reyes hits a liner into right, but right at him, and that would not get down. 1 away. Next batter, pretty much a virtual replay as Castro hits a liner into right that is caught. Look at those numbers from Miguel Cabrera coming in. He's hitting .462, 3 home runs already, so off to a good start as he tries to chase down some of those career milestones, and he would continue on that pursuit as he lines one up the middle for a 2-out base hit. Then it was Jonathan Scope. He gets a pitch to hit, hits a hard ground ball, but right at the third baseman over to second to end that one. No score after 1. Then Balazovic coming back in the second. Gets the slider down and in to Carlos Santana, but he's able to fight that one off. The shift comes back to bite the Tigers there. It would be a 2-out base runner. But then Domingo Santana, the next batter, lines one into right. Able to come in and get that one to end the inning, and it is still scoreless after an inning and a half. Carrasco would get himself into trouble with a walk to lead off the inning. Then Vizcaino would steal second, still 1 out here. It's a 3-2 count to Jorge Bonifacio. I show you that foul ball so I can show you this. He has seen 9 pitches in the at-bat already, and on the 10th he gets a fastball down the chute, and he does not miss it. Jorge Bonifacio hits a laser into the left field bleachers, his second of the year, 404 feet, and the Tigers are on top here in Detroit. It is 2-0. That ball was an absolute rocket over the left field wall. Nice piece of hitting there and a great at-bat, seeing 10 pitches and winning the battle in the end. Next up would be Jake Rogers. He laces one down the left field line, hits the foul line, and stays fair. He's going to be into second with a stand-up double, and it's still 1 away. Carrasco not out of the woods yet. Pitching coach going to come out and tell Carlos Carrasco what I imagine is one of the worst dad jokes of all time. Certainly does not do the job because, as you will see, Carlos Carrasco goes on to struggle. Next batter does get a ground ball to first to get the second out of the inning, but then Victor Reyes with 2 away slices one down the left field line. That would score the runner. It is 3-0 and a runner at second. Tigers off to a great start here. Castro hits a laser into the right center field gap. They're going to run that one down the end of the inning, but it is 3-0 Tigers. Balazovic was in control. Not going to need to show you a whole lot, but you see a nice slider located very well there. Ahead to the third, and Miguel Cabrera laces a base hit up the middle on a fastball just right over the heart of the plate. Then it was with 1 away. Lawrence Walker up the middle. Lindor couldn't get to it, and it would be first and second, 1 out. Then it was Elvis Vizcaino. He hits a ball to deep left. Will it get out of here? It will, into the bullpen. It is now 6-0 Tigers. His first major league home run, and Carlos Carrasco needs a hug. Not the kind of outing he was wanting to follow up his first start of the year, and certainly not what the Indians were looking for out of him today. 1 out in the third, and it is already 6-0. Tigers veterans giving the silent treatment to Vizcaino before they jump up and razz him as he takes a moment to soak in his first Major League home run. Terry Francona going to come out and get Carlos Carrasco. Rough day for him. He goes just 2 1/3, 7 hits, 1 walk, and 6 earned, and he is heading to the showers. Adam Plutko will come in. I show you his line here because if you read that ERA right, that is 5 runs to every 1 out that he recorded in his one showing so far this season. That is atrocious and quite possibly one of the highest ERAs you will ever see outside of infinite. He is able to get Bonifacio to ground out here for the second out. He would get out of the third inning there unscathed. On to the fourth. Balazovic strikes out Ramirez. He's still in control. On to the bottom of the fourth. Niko Goodrum hits this ball deep to right. Look at this. He is going to win a steak dinner because he hits that ball to the hit it here sign. 384 feet, his first of the year. That was a majestic, towering home run from Niko Goodrum. Remember earlier we said he's got some pop against righties, and he delivers it here. Another look at it, good little bat flip there, and right through the hit it here sign out there over the right field wall. Later in the inning, Harold Castro draws a walk on the ball down and in, and it would be 2 batters later, Jonathan Scope going deep to left. This ball is back, looking up, and it is gone. Another home run for the Tigers. It is now 9-0 as Scope collects his second home run of the year. Not what the Indians had in mind today, to say the least. Regardless, the Tigers fans are loving it. We would go ahead to the 5th inning. Nobody out. Tyler Naquin gets a high fastball, takes it into the gap in right center field. Victor Reyes on the run, makes a nice catch and tumbles to the ground. It would be 1 away. Next batter was Carlos Santana. He gets a fastball up and in and can't handle it, and Balazovic is still in control. Ahead to the 6th. He would get another strikeout there. It was Perez going down, swinging through the slider. With 1 away, it was Cesar Hernandez. He would draw a walk. Only his second walk allowed, not too bad at this stage in the game, but the next batter is Mercado. He takes the first pitch into the gap, short hops the wall. That's going to score the runner all the way from first. It would be 9-1 with 1 away. Nice piece of hitting there from Mercado as he jumps on the early fastball. He would get Reyes to end the inning later, and he's through 6 innings, just 1 run allowed. On to the bottom of the 6th, first batter is Niko Goodrum, and he is going deep again. His second of the ball game, second of the season. Hunter Wood not liking what he sees there, but the Tigers get that run right back, and the Indians are in trouble in this one for sure. Move on to the 7th. And Xiaoqing Chang would come on, ending the day for Balazovic. He went 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and the 1 earned run. And Chang gets to work. He's through the 7th without much trouble. Gets the strikeout to end it there. On to the 8th. It's Mercado. He hits one past Cabrera at first, all the way to the corner. That's going to be a stand-up double for Mercado. And later in the inning, it would be Franmil Reyes. He takes a curve, chops it up the middle. That would score the runner, and it is 10-2. For whatever reason, Reyes decides to try and take second, and he is out easily. Then it would be Gregory Soto on in relief in the 9th inning. He was pretty bad for the Tigers last year. Again, a guy that is just going to kind of come in games that are typically out of control, as this one is. He would get a strikeout here to start the inning, so a good start for him. And then later it would be Carlos Santana taking one into the gap in right center. He's going to try for 2. Cameron Maben out there defensively, and look at, he's out by 10 feet. Cleveland obviously just wanted this game to be over, and now it is. 10-2 victory for the Tigers. Jordan Balazovic get his first Major League victory. He pitched very well today for the Tigers, and they are now 5-2 on the year. We're going to get a look at the box score here in a second, and it was a good one for the Tigers, no doubt. They put up 10 runs in a pretty dominant performance over the Cleveland Indians. Again, Balazovic getting the victory. You see the numbers there. Carrasco, a really tough day. Player of the game honors go to Niko Goodrum with his 2 home runs. Nice day for him, and good to see him hitting the ball well, because he's at a position where we really just don't have many other options. Look at the overall box score: 6 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts combined for the Indians, and the Tigers 0 strikeouts versus 11 hits and 4 walks. Might have to do something with the sliders because 0 strikeouts these days is just absolutely unheard of. So we'll work on that in episodes here in the future. A couple of doubles for Reyes and Rogers. Homers all over the place too for Goodrum. Scope had one. Bonifacio and Vizcaino also. And then, again, looking at the numbers for the pitching staff, a great day overall with just 6 hits allowed and 2 runs, a 10-2 victory. A trade offer we got from the A's is one that we're going to look at here, and I'll explain why we actually accept this one. If you look at what the A's have, they've got Chapman at third, just basically blocking Sheldon Nuese from being able to get any playing time. So understandable that they would be open to moving him. You look at his ratings, his batting ratings are not that bad, but his plate skills in terms of vision and discipline are not that great. Good defender, doesn't run very well, but he plays third primarily, also can play second or short. And they're looking for starting pitching, so they want Zach Godley from us. If you look at why they want starting pitching, they've got 5 guys up here that aren't that bad, but below that, there's just nothing. I mean, they've got a youngster in Luzardo, who's probably not necessarily major league ready. And then if you're looking at their bullpen, they don't really have any guys except for one that are there as options for long relief. So they just really need guys that can give them some innings. So this is a trade that makes sense for them. I know it's a kind of a weird time in the season to be wheeling and dealing, but it makes sense for both teams. So we're going to go ahead and do it. Really what we expect to do on our end is basically we can think about putting either Chang or Fulmer into the starting rotation and then maybe call up Nova or Zimmerman to be some of the long relievers. So we make that trade, and actually what we ended up doing was basically just moving Rony Garcia into that role. As long reliever, we throw Fulmer into the rotation, hopefully basically thinking that we can showcase him as trade bait later in the season if we are not in the playoff picture. And then Nuese just basically goes on the bench. If you look at who we got hitting against righties, Castro is doing well. Jonathan Scope is our 4-hitter. Can't realistically just pull him out of the lineup. Elvis Vizcaino is off to a great start at third base, hitting .300 with a couple of home runs this early in the season. Like to see that. And then Nico Goodrum's been on fire. So nowhere really to stick him against righties. And then against lefties, Nico Goodrum hits the ball very well against left-handed pitching, as does Jonathan Scope, as does Elvis Vizcaino. So Nuese is going to sit on the bench for the time being. We'll see if we can get him some playing time. He's probably going to, give some guys a spell just to kind of fill in days where they need rest. But with that said, we are actually going to go back out to Comerica Park where the Angels come to town and are hosted by the 7-5 Detroit Tigers. Going to get a look at a couple of future Hall of Famer first baseman in Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera matching up in this one. Michael Fulmer gets the go. He's pitched 8 innings so far this season and has been pretty sharp across that stretch. The whip of 1.25 is a pretty good sign, just 7 hits and 3 walks in those 8 innings. So getting things started against Fulmer would be Andrelton Simmons. He lifts one into center field. On comes Reyes. He would make the catch. That would be one away. Then David Fletcher hits a ball through the right side past the diving Miguel Cabrera. First hit of the ball game for the Angels. 1 out and a runner on first. Then it would be Rendon chasing a slider down out of the zone. Then the dangerous Michael Trout. Nice piece of hitting there. Fastball down and away, but he's just too darn good. Takes that into right for a 1-out single, and it would be first and second. Next would be Tom Elistella. Hits a chopper up the middle. Scope unable to tag Trout, but throws to first to get him, and that would do it for the Angels in the first. Julio Teheran, the stats here just kind of don't make sense. I'm thinking maybe he had a relief appearance somewhere mixed in there, but 9 innings, an ERA of 8 over 1 start. That certainly doesn't make sense in terms of a stat line, but in any case, he's getting the go. A guy that's been around for a while, never quite as good as people thought he might be early in his career as a prospect, but all in all, not a bad pitcher. But the first hitter of the ballgame is Victor Reyes for the Tigers. He takes one up the middle, and then he's not wasting any time. He steals second, and he's into scoring position with nobody out. Harold Castro would draw a walk on the next pitch of the at-bat, and then Cabrera lifts one to right field. This ball is not going to be deep enough for Reyes to try and tag, so it's first and second and 1 away. Then Jonathan Scope on a 3-2 pitch, unable to pull the trigger on a 2-seamer, pretty much right down the middle of the plate. Not sure what he was looking for there. And then Tehran gets Walker. Ball hit hard. Struggled to handle it second, but he does recover and make the out to end the inning. On to the second. First batter chops one down the line, a swinging bunt. Tough break as Justin Upton is on there. And then Brian Goodwin would lift a little flare into left field routine, and that would be the first out. And Jason Castro with one away. He hits a swinging bunt right in front of the plate. No trouble there. That would do it. That would be the second out of the inning. And then Albert Pujols hits a pretty good ground ball to short, but easily handled by Nico Goodrum. Nothing doing, still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. Austin Romine frozen on an inside fastball, so Tehran looking good here through 2 innings. On to the third, and Andrelton Simmons lifts a high fly ball into right, shallow. Cabrera can't get there. That ball is in the air forever, but drops for a base hit, and then Fletcher takes one through the right side, and it's first and second, nobody out with the heart of the order due up for the Angels, so Fulmer's going to have to buckle down. Rendon lifts the ball into right. Bonifacio able to track that one down, but the runner would advance to third. One away, and there's runners on the corners for Mike Trout. Ball hit up the middle. It's going to be a tailor-made double play. Nice, not the best feed, but a good turn by Scope as Goodrum did not make it easy for him. Take another look here. We are through 2.5 innings. The Angels 5 hits, but nothing to show for it. We are scoreless in Detroit. With 2 away in the third, Castro would hit one over the first base bag and into the corner. He's going to try for 2. Here comes the throw, and it would be in time to nail him. And through 3 innings, we are scoreless. Tommy Lasella to start off the second inning on a 1-2 pitch, takes a ground ball back up the middle for a base hit, and the Angels are in business yet again. Fulmer's had to struggle a little bit, but he has been able to hold them scoreless. He gets the strikeout on Upton here for the first out. Next batter is Brian Goodwin. Runner was in motion, and that ball is going into the gap. It's going to be extra bases for Goodwin, a stand-up double, and the Angels are in the lead as Lastella comes all the way around from first to score. Still one away as Castro hits one up the middle. Goodwin able to field that. Throw to first in time. That's the second out. And then Pujols goes down swinging at a 96-mile-an-hour fastball in under his hands. We're on to the bottom of the fourth. Lawrence Walker lifts one deep to left. That ball is back to the track, but it is caught over the shoulder, and that would do it for the Tigers in the fourth. On to the fifth with 2 down. Changeup on the inside corner freezes Rendon. He didn't like the call, but nonetheless, we're headed to the bottom of the fifth, and it is still 1-0. With nobody out, full count. Vizcaino takes one back up the middle for a base hit. He's got some speed, so the Tigers are in business. Next batter is Bonifacio. He chases a slider down out of the zone. Pretty good pitch there, tough to lay off. And that's the third strikeout for Tehran. Angel's going to pitch out here. They're looking for the steal. And on the next pitch, there goes Vizcaino, and the throw is going to be just late. He's in under the tag. Take another look here. The throw hopped. Fletcher had to kind of take a second to make sure he caught it, unable to get the tag down. And now a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Romine lifts one to deep of center here, but that ball hangs up way too long, and that would be the second out. Then with 2 down, it was Nico Goodrum. He hits one up the elevator shaft, in the words of the great Jake Taylor from Major League. Don't think this one's got the distance. That would do it for the Tigers in the fifth. It is still 1-0 here in Detroit. On to the sixth. First batter of the inning is Mike Trout. He's down swinging. Then it would be Justin Upton with 2 away later in the inning. He swings through a changeup. That ball was hittable, but he was out in front. Fulmer looking good through 6 innings here on his first start of the season. Tehran with 1 out, throws a fastball right down the middle. Castro able to handle that, hits it into left field for a base hit. Then it was Cabrera. You see Castro in motion there. It's a good thing he was, because that was an easy double play otherwise. And then with 2 down, it's Scope. He hits one down the line, so sending that runner and taking away that double play gets the Tigers a tie ball game as Scope delivers there with 2 down. Big piece of hitting there, and it is now 1-1 after the RBI double, his 5th double of the season already. Lawrence Walker would hit one to right field, a can of corn. That would do it for the Tigers in the 6th. On to the 7th. Fulmer still out there, just 79 pitches to this point. Doesn't like the call there and lets the umpire know about it with a little stare in. And then later in the at-bat, it's Jason Castro. He gets served up a jam sandwich as he just hits a soft grounder over to short. Goodrum easily able to get him for the second out. Then it was Albert Pujols. He's also going to get jammed, and that would do it for the Angels in the 7th. We head to the stretch. It is 1-1 here in Detroit. Elvis Vizcaino takes a close pitch there for ball 4, and that would do it for Julio Teheran. He goes 6+ innings, 5 hits, 2 walks, struck out 3, and he gave up 1 run, although he is responsible for the runner on first now here, as Jaime Barria, he's pitched in 5 games so far, going 9 innings, and an ERA of 3.0. Not a bad start to the season for him. But the first batter he faces is Jorge Bonifacio, and the Tigers execute a hit and run. Nice piece of hitting there as he takes it into right field, and now it's first and third, nobody out. He would walk Austin Romine on 5 pitches, loading the bases with nobody out, and then Nico Goodrum would slice one into left. Vizcaino gonna try and tag here. The throw is offline. He is in safely. It is 2-1. Now we can close the book on Teheran with 2 earned runs on the day. Victor Reyes would hit a little swing and bunt in front of the plate. Castro out to get him. Now it's second and third, 2 down. And that would bring Harold Castro to the plate. He hits the ball hard, but right at Pujols. A little infield assist there as the pitcher gets over the cover, and that would do it for the Tigers in the 7th. Alex Wilson going to come on. He has been outstanding for the Tigers. 7 games already this season. He's pitched 7 scoreless innings, and he would continue that trend here as he gets a fly ball into center for the first out. Here you get a look at the line from Michael Fulmer. His day is over. He threw 7 innings, gave up 7 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts, and just the 1 earned run through 86 pitches. Excellent start for him, and that's exactly what the Tigers want to see. Next batter is Fletcher. He hits a ball in the left, hit pretty well, but that's going to hang up and be carded for the second out. Then it was Rendon taking a fastball on the outside corner. That ball looked like a strike, but he is on nonetheless, and that's danger because Mike Trout coming up next with 2 down, representing the go-ahead run. He would hit a ball hard, but the third baseman able to glove it over to first. That would do it for the Angels in the 8th. Cabrera draws a walk to start the bottom of the 8th. Jeimer Candelario going to come in and pinch run for him, give him a little bit more speed and a guy that can play first. And on a 2-2 pitch, that ball would get by Castro. Candelario going to advance to second, so now no chance for a double play here with nobody out. That goes down as a wild pitch. And then later in the at-bat, Jonathan Scope hits a ball over the leaping glove of Albert Pujols. Runner had to kind of freeze to make sure it was going to get through, but then he advances to third. Now it's first and third, 1 out. Take another look here. Maybe a little bit younger Albert Pujols catches this ball because that is just over his outstretched glove. Ramirez is going to come on for the Angels here and try and get him out of the jam as he has pitched 4 1/3 so far. Struggled a little bit. Tigers going to counter with the new Tiger and Sheldon Nuese. He's going to get the pinch hit situation here. Runners on the corners and a big chance to get some insurance. On a 3-1 count, he gets a changeup down out of the zone, but goes down and gets it, hits it into the right field corner. That would score 1, and it is now 3-1 as Nuese with an RBI double in his first at-bat as a Tiger. Next batter was Vizcaino. He hits a ball into the left center field gap. Trout over to get to it. That would be the first out, but the runner will tag and score, and it's now 4-1. A 3-run lead for the Tigers this late in the ball game. Got to like where they're at this stage. Cameron Maben on the pinch hit. He hits a ball up the middle, but that's not going to get through, and that will be the second out in the inning. 2 away now for Austin Romine, chopper to third, and that's going to end the rally for the Tigers here in the 8th, but the damage is done. They take a 4-1 lead heading into the 9th. Candelario going to stay in the game at first base. Cameron Maben will stay in the game and play right field. And Arodys Vizcaino into the ball game to try and nail down the close for the Tigers. With a 3-run lead, shouldn't be too stressful for him, but he's got an ERA of 4.5 through his 6 innings of work in 7 appearances so far this season. The Tigers closer would start things off against Tommy La Stella. He hits a line drive, but right at Nico Goodrum. Tough way to start the inning for the Angels. 1 away, then it would be Justin Upton. He chases a slider just off the plate for the second out of the inning. And to end it, Brian Goodwin swinging through a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Vizcaino with the save. The Tigers pick up the victory. And this was a tough one for the Angels as they, really got a good start from Teheran, but Fulmer was outstanding in this one. The Tigers really got to like to see that from him in the early going. He's a guy that he's only 26 years old. I talked about him being his trade bait, but if he's really good, we might need him for the future. He went 7 innings, gets the win. Tehran, as we said earlier, 6 innings, 2 runs, picks up the loss. Vizcaíno with a save and a strong 9th inning there. Player of the game honors do go to Michael Fulmer. We'll take a look at the box score. Angels picked up 7 hits and a walk versus the 8 strikeouts. Nothing else in the box score that really stands out from these guys. Barria, a little bit of a rough outing out of the bullpen for them. But the Tigers, 8 hits and 4 walks. 3 strikeouts in this one, so again, they're doing a good job putting the ball into play. I swear to God, I adjusted the sliders to try and change that, but we'll keep tinkering with it as we go. Fulmer with a great day, Wilson with a hold, Vizcaíno with a save, and that would do it from Detroit here in this one. One final look at the line score there as the Tigers have won it 4-1 your final. And we are going to take a look at some of the standings for now. The White Sox 12-7 lead the division, but the Tigers right behind them, a half game back at 11-7, 6-4 over their last 10, 9-6 in the division. So a pretty good start for them. You look at the Twins at 7-12. That's definitely a surprise, as they are one of the favorites to win this division hands down, along with the Indians sitting at 10-10. The Royals about right where you would expect. 4.5 back though, but again, it's still very early in the season. Lots can happen here. Tigers are in position for the wild card at the moment, so that's good to see. But it is still early in the season. Taking a look at some of the statistics individually, Miguel Cabrera off to a really good start, as is Elvis Vizcaíno with the 992 OPS at this point in the early going. Nico Goodrum has been swinging the bat very well. Jorge Bonifacio, I like where the OPS is, but the average could certainly benefit a little bit from a little bit of a hot streak, but overall happy with what he has done so far. Jonathan Scope, pretty much the same thing. The average is just not reflective of how well he has actually hit the ball. Harold Castro is a singles machine. He's doing it well, but he's just not hitting for power, but he is getting on base, and you got to like that from him in the 2-hole. Sheldon Nuese, the acquisition from earlier in the episode, has done well so far. Lawrence Walker is off to a pretty good start. He did struggle a little bit out of the gates, but has turned it around. Cameron Maben doing okay. Victor Reyes got off to a good start, but he has cooled down. I'd like to see him pick it back up and obviously start walking a little bit more as a leadoff guy. Austin Romine and Jake Rogers at the catcher have both been pretty bad this far into the season. But again, still early. Just giving you a quick look at kind of how guys are doing out of the gates. Candelario, his awful spring training has carried over into the regular season. And CJ Crone has been awful. Looking at the pitching staff, Gregory Soto, just 2 innings of work so far, so not really much to report on there. But Vizcaíno has been outstanding with the whip sitting at .9. Tim Meza has done very well for us in 7 2/3 of work out of the bullpen. Fulmer, you saw the good start there. He's actually been throwing well across 22 innings already this season. Alex Wilson, ERA sub-1 and the whip at 1.1. Gotta like what you're getting from him as middle reliever. Spencer Turnbull has been pretty solid through his first couple of starts. Like to see that. A guy that could have a pretty good future with us if he has a good season or two and really progresses. Matthew Boyd has been okay. The whip is down where it was last year, but the ERA has come way down from his previous season, so he's doing the job of getting out of trouble when he gets into it. As we get down here farther, Jimenez has struggled a little bit, but hasn't been too bad. Jordan Balazovic has been okay in 2 of his 3 starts, I guess. But one of them he did not fare well, that first start of the season where he gave up 6 walks. Chang has been pretty good in terms of the ERA, but that's not a really good reflection of how well he has pitched. He's just walking too many guys. Daniel Norris, just if he's throwing strikes, guys are hitting it hard or they're swinging and missing. He's got 15 Ks through 14 innings, but you look at the whip, when he's only got 4 walks through 14 innings, that whip of 1.7 tells me that he's given up too much hard contact. Ronny Garcia, we know he's terrible, and we're not real concerned with how he's performed so far. But guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Drop a like, subscribe, comment below. We'll see you again next time. This has been your host, longtime listener.